All right, next guest on is James Huna, former UFC fighter, Mr. Nice Guy. Give us a bit of an introduction.
Yep. So my name is James Huna, New Zealand born and bred.
When did you move over here?
When I was 17 years old. So grew up in New Zealand. Took the path of, got interested in martial arts, and took that journey, the long journey of having been involved in martial arts. And then I moved myself over here with my family, my dad, my brother, when I was 17 years old, and continued that journey. Yeah, been in Penrith ever since.
Yeah, wild west, mate.
Yeah.
What was your first, like with your martial arts, what was your first discipline? Like what did you get into first? Like boxing, kickboxing?
Oh man, so I was born in 81. In the 80s, growing up in the 80s in New Zealand, it was either two things you were interested in, rugby union, or like fight sports and boxing. And at that time, 80s, Mike Tyson was on TV and, becoming a world champ when he was 19 or 20 years old. Also David Tua, Samoan guy, but he, grew up in New Zealand and made the Barcelona Olympics early 90s. And
similar frame, him and Tyson.
Yeah, man, similar fighting style, So growing up, I just got involved in martial arts because of what I saw on TV. And what I saw on TV, on the news, Mum and Dad loved to watch the news. I used to hate it, but then my favourite part was always the sports side, which was only like 5 minutes of that half an hour news or whatever. So in the side of that 5 minutes is always either rugby union, the All Blacks, or boxing. And with boxing, Mike Tyson, he was just wicked to watch, man. Entertainer, young dude, muscles, just a beast. And then David Tua too, he was the opposite. He was kind of quiet and humble and, typical Polynesian behavior, And but he used to put people away, and he just let his hands do the talking.
Was he after Tyson, or
he was after Tyson?
Just after, eh?
Yeah.
He sort of hit the scene.
Yeah, but Mike Tyson, man, in the late 80s when I was growing up, I was 8, 9 years old, and it's funny, I think as a little kid, there's something that you can that catches your eye, and Tyson was it for me. Out of everyone I saw growing up, it was Johnny Lomi, rugby union,
he's a beast.
Because he's a big dude, big beast, doing big things, and it had all the glory and everything. And I'm a kid. I'm like, I want to be like that guy. I want to be like a superhero or Mike Tyson, And I was just drawn to boxing. What made me start though? We actually we lived in a town growing up, and we didn't. There was no martial art gym there, so I had to wait a couple of years until I moved to another town. And there was a boxing gym there, and then bang, signed up, and then started my journey. Yeah.
How old were you when you had your first fight?
I took it up. We moved, and I was 12 years old to Alexandra, deep in the South Island of New Zealand, and there was a boxing club there. So straight away joined up. 12 years old, started training. And I had to wait 2 more years until I can get myself registered as a combat sports athlete and become a competitor, and then compete when I was 14. But that journey, man, was a huge, massive step up for me. Huge.
Because you're pretty like, from what I know, you're pretty like quiet and humble type of dude. Like,
yeah.
I couldn't picture you getting angry or like wanting to punch someone's face in or.
Oh man, I got involved in martial arts because of when I was a kid, and it's funny now, now that I've experienced, I see it in other people. You have like a certain type of, there's a real genuine reason why you take up, boxing or martial arts. And my real reason was because, so my parents, we're quite a tight family. And my father, when he was 12 years old, he actually went through something quite serious. My father, when he was 12 years old, he was around when his father and mother, his father committed murdered the mother and then suicided. So my father was there to see that. he was 12 years old.
Oh,
So
yeah,
my grandparents, I never got to meet my grandparents.
Yeah.
So my father went through that when he was 12 years old. And he's got lots of brothers and sisters. And when that happened, they got kind of like, passed on to different family members. And from there, my father kind of, heavily traumatized from what he'd been through.
Yeah, shit.
12 years old, a few years later, bouncing around, lost. Met my mother, which is a miracle. Met my mother, and then another 2 more miracles happened. My brother and I come into the world. But my father was affected from being heavily traumatized from what he's seen, and just stuff happened. Like me and Tom had a hard upbringing, and I guess martial arts for us was a way to pick ourselves up, strengthen ourselves, protect myself, protect my family, and I guess the first reason why I got into boxing was to was to protect someone. But later on in life, man, I got to learn that all the good things that boxing has behind it, boxing and martial arts have, like all the benefits, man. It's just, man, so much. First of all, being a kid, learning about boxing, you get to control your shit, you get to control your emotions, If you're a passive little kid, which I was, scared of conflict, because what I saw in the family, if someone yelled or something, like, I froze and just shut my eyes and didn't want to see it and couldn't deal with it. But I learned it helps you, make you stand a bit more upright and just control those emotions better. Boxing is great for that. And on the other end too, as a kid, if you're it's kind of too high up above the clouds and you
can ground you a little bit.
Yeah, everyone else is below you, sort of thing. It keeps you grounded. It does pull you back, because when you start boxing training, you get to learn. You aren't the shit. You're not the shit. You're the same as everyone else. So you're eye to eye. You're on the same level as everyone else.
Yeah, that's all. I was speaking to Jake about this, about the similar thing what you touched on, is like in boxing, or that's the only type of training I done, and only very, very minimal, but I really like the honesty of it. It's like, it doesn't matter who you are or whatever. As soon as you jump in, it's face to face with, whether you're a boy or a girl who you're facing off with. Yeah. And it's just real honest. There's no hiding. I think it levels everyone out. Yeah. As soon as you get punched in the face, it's a different feeling to be able to, say, like you said, someone that's way up here in the clouds, and then you got the other end. As soon as they get in the ring, it's like, all right, well, it's leveled. What do you got? Yeah, and also the discipline side to it as well. Yeah. I really like that. Yeah. You got to be so switched on, and the cerebral side to fighting. All right, what have I got to do? Thinking on your feet. It's really good stuff. I know there can be a bit of a stigma around it with injuries and head knocks and stuff, but I think the way I look at it, I reckon the good outweighs the bad. Oh yeah, definitely, man. It's I just see, man. I talk to, especially now that I've retired, I like to have a chat to people that have lots of experience in martial arts and talk about their path and their journey, and it's you get to learn where they come from and what they've achieved and how they've changed as a person. Their behaviours changed. My brother owned a few gyms over the years, and we always used to see. Is that EFG? Yeah, EFG was one of them, and we always used to see kids come out from juvie. And the first thing they do, especially the ones that have got a bit physical, start up at a boxing gym, and man, they probably start for the wrong reasons, but man, it just humbles them, and then they start learning about respect, and then hard work and discipline, and the next minute all their old behaviours, man, goes out the door, new behaviours come in, and then an environment of good people, good hard working, disciplined, respectful people, and it's iron sharpens iron. It just rubs off on everyone in the same environments. It's a real good thing, eh? Yeah, well, 100%. I agree with you there as well. With the EFG gym, I heard that you used to have some good battles down there. Speedy, one of the members here, Jamie's mate, he was telling me there was some good sparring sessions going on there back in the day. Yeah, EFG was just one of those gyms that
you just wanted to rock up to. Like, you might have just finished a hard day's work and it was a taxing day, you're over it, and you couldn't wait to finish and then jump in your car and just drive straight to UFG. You didn't care what was on or what was happening and what class was next. You just wanted to be there, turn up. All right, who's there? Oh, hey, man, and catch up, have a quick little yarn. What are you doing? I want to do this class. Yeah, sweet, I'm going to jump in. It was just one of those, that kind of vibe, you know? It was wicked, yeah.
With going back to yourself, like, did you always know you were going to be a fighter?
I guess so. Like, I was...
Did you have a plan B, or was it just like, I'll do this job to sort of help me be able to train a bit more?
Nah, man, actually, yeah, that was something I really wanted to do. I was actually obsessed about it.
Yeah.
I was obsessed about it. I remember when I turned, 17, I came over to Sydney, to Australia, 17 years old, you know, from in the country town in New Zealand to Penrith, and he's, you know,
why Penrith?
Summer, and I had some family members here. Yeah, uncle was staying here, so he came here. They knew the area, helped us out. Yeah, 17 years old, came here, and then I was still obsessed about, you know, fighting and boxing and MMA. Discovered MMA and fell in love with that. But I was just obsessed about training, fighting, the good things that come from it. You know, build up a bit of strength and make me stand a little bit more upright, because I, knew quite early in my childhood years that I, had some problems. So I did try and, keep myself upright and fix some things up.
Is that like this what you're talking about, being confident and
yeah. And then boxing was definitely one of them. What were we talking about before? I think I'm rambling.
No, you go just talking about that you thought you were always going to be a fighter.
Oh yeah, so being obsessed, man. I was obsessed. I remember, turning 18 years old, couldn't wait to get to the clubs with my mates, and then I'll be that person who picked my mates up and then take them to the clubs.
Didn't drink? Weren't a drinker?
No, not really, Not really. I was, I had my day sussed out for Sunday, so it was wake up 6 a.m, run, get back, rest, train, get back, rest, train again. That's what I valued the most. So when I was a teenager and I was obsessed about fighting and becoming like a better fighter, better athlete, was, I want to just train, because that's what I saw growing up. I saw what training and hard work took to get to, a successful position. So when I saw Mike Tyson on TV and fighting and stuff, but leading up to his fights, he'll be backstage and he'll be doing his shadow boxing and his skipping, and then or flash back to like a clip of his training, which would be running early hours in the morning. And I thought, okay, well, to be in his shoes, this is what I got to do. I got to put on my joggers and I got to run. And I think it's got to be before the sun rises. So yeah, used to do that, man.
That's good, eh? That's for like a young guy to recognise that early as well. Sometimes the penny doesn't drop for someone until they're later on, like 18, 19, 20, early 20s, that shit, I've got to work a bit harder. But especially back then with no social media or anything, like you don't have all that stuff in your face. So for you to have that keen eye to pick up on that's really good. Yeah,
it wasn't really around me, but it was what I saw on TV. And just maybe like 30 seconds of it or something, man, it just like, I saw that and it just replayed inside my head every single time. So a few years passed until we moved to another town, which had a boxing gym. And I was just replaying that shit in my head and then going for runs and stuff. I couldn't practice my boxing. I didn't know how to box, just needed to run. So run, come back home. We moved to another town, had a boxing gym. The first week of training at that boxing gym, I'm naturally moving around quite good, I'm seeing I'm replaying these rehearsing what Mike Tyson is doing backstage, warming up, doing this shadow, jab, getting inside, moving his head, skipping, and so I'm just like, even though I haven't done it before, I'm just replaying every single day in my head because I'm obsessed. Had an obsession about it. Yeah, so when it come to training, when I first started, man, it was just like,
Tyson.
I've seen this before, yeah.
What do you reckon about the fight Tyson's doing now? Is it him and Holyfield?
I don't know.
Is it supposed to be Holyfield?
I hope it's not Holyfield, man. I thought, yeah, cool, man.
Died his
Holyfield
other
3.
ear off.
And then, then I watched Holyfield start training. I was like, ooh, nah.
What do you reckon it'll be like? Like honestly, they're what, in their mid-50s, aren't they?
Yeah.
Would it be?
Tyson's 53. I think Holyfield is 59 or something.
When was the
late
last
50s.
time they had a fight? Like, it'd be, what, good 15, 20 years, wouldn't it?
Tyson
Bit
was-
longer for Tyson.
I think 36 or 38, maybe.
He was like mid-2000s.
Yeah.
He ended up quitting in the 6th round or something, I
Yeah.
think.
Fuck, he looks awesome.
Yeah, they look good, but I don't know, like two old men in the ring punching the shit out of each other.
Man, when you get to that age, there's a point, that
Yeah.
you grow old really quick.
Yeah.
I think Tyson's got there yet. He still looks like a sharp. But then Holyfield, nah, he doesn't look as sharp.
I don't know, man. Like, you only see clips of them where they're like, good on them for having a go. Name of the podcast, have a go. But
Yeah.
I don't know, just two old fellas. You only see a 30-second clip of them at the moment. I wonder how they go after like a round or two.
I don't know, man.
And
like,
copping a
Tyson's
punch
still,
too.
He's still got abs, so
Yeah.
I bet you he's gone back to his old ways and just,
What about their head? Like their head knock? Surely they'd be a bit more susceptible to getting dropped
yes.
a bit easier when you're older.
I suppose, man, like once you reach like a certain age
Yeah.
in your time in your life, everything starts deteriorating, your joints, your sore
Yeah.
knees and everything, your brain, it starts deteriorating over time. You're growing old, it's a part of growing old.
Yeah.
But also when you're copping those head knocks too, and then copping, you're not resting it, that's when you can do serious damage, eh?
What about your first MMA fight? When was that?
That was 2003, I think.
Yeah.
My first MMA fight.
In Perth.
No, it was in Queensland.
Oh, Queensland, Gold Coast.
So I was training here with John Pedro, who was Tyson Pedro's dad.
Oh, yeah.
So we used to train. I met John Pedro, with Tyson's dad, at a small gym in York Street. Forgot what it's called.
Is it still there? It's been there for like Paul's or something like that? No.
Man, I forgot. I can't remember. Anyway, we used to train there, and then he moved to a school, which was the Cranbrook High School. So we used to train after hours in the Cranbrook in the hall. And Tyson was 10 years old. He was only 10, 11 years old, but he was a little kid, well disciplined, respectful, and just trained. His dad, Pedro John, was a hard man. So we used to train. And then we went up to, he used to take us up, he hooked us up with fights up in Queensland. In Queensland, it was legal at the time. Every other state around Australia was illegal. So we used to travel up to Queensland, have the fight up there. The first fight I had there, walked out and, ready to do this and gone out and then started throwing. Within the first minute, we got close, up in the clinch, a bit of a wrestle. And then my opponent, Uppy, he threw me on the ground and I've kind of posted myself out to keep myself upright from landing on the ground. So as I posted out, then boom, my shoulders hanging up here, popped out. I didn't even know what happened, I don't know nothing about shoulder.
Was that first time it popped out ever?
Yeah. Bang, and I'm like on my back, and then he's punching me, and I'm trying to defend with this other hand that I got. And then he grabbed that arm that was still locked out, and he went to put it in a submission. And then I just tapped, man, it just felt like it was going to snap, it was still out. And then fight was over, ref called it, and then ref picked me up. As I picked up, my arm must have rotated in a certain position where it's clicked back in. I'm like, far out, that's weird. Feels better now. And then, that was my first loss, first dislocation, but learnt a lot from that.
Because the first time this is way before I ever met you, the first thing I ever seen of you was a fight you had. You popped your shoulder out, jumped back in, and then ended up winning.
Yeah.
How long ago was? How far after that first fight was that? Was that a boxing match or MMA?
No, it was an MMA match.
It was in a boxing ring though, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was in a boxing ring.
It's actually on YouTube. If anyone wants to jump on and have a look, I'm pretty sure, or the internet or something. I seen it. I actually googled it the other day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's man, I tell you what, when it's out, in that much pain. Like I popped it a few times after that first time I popped it. I was in training and stuff, and then hung my hands out far, and the next bang came out. Ah, man, it was painful. But then again, a few years later, it happened in that fight.
Have you had it fixed, or was it just normal training? You didn't have any surgery?
Yeah, I've had reconstruction.
What about in between
times.
that, from the first times you popped it out to that fight where you popped it out?
I probably popped it out like 20 odd times before that happened. And then in that fight, I'm fighting as my first international opponent. So I'm like, all right, this is my chance, to make a bit of a name for myself. So I fought this dude from Japan. He came over, and first minute of the fight, we're kind of like moving around, throwing punches and stuff. And I'm thinking, oh, I got this guy. You just know that you're going to get this guy. That was the feeling that I had. And the next minute, we end up on the ground, and I've gone to sweep him. As I've gone to sweep him, this is 1 minute into the fight. Bang! Oh, no, not again. So my shoulder's hanging out, it's locked out, and the referee saw that and actually paused the fight. He came in and broke the fight up. And I'm like, he didn't actually stop it. He should have stopped it. But I was lucky because he paused the fight. He parted the opponent away from me, and then got up. He called in the doctor. The doctor tried to put it back in. And he said, no, we can't bring it back in. We can't put it back in. We're going to have to, do something else. We're going to call the fight off. And then the doctor and the ref were like, all right, this is it. And then I see in the corner my trainer, which was coach, John Pedro. And he's going, come here. And I'm going, oh, no, I can win this if I can get this shoulder back in. So I've ran over to him, and he's like, all right, relax, give me your arm, relax, bang.
Doctor
swung on it like
coach.
swung on it like a church bell, but you know what? It went back in place, and I was lucky that I didn't do any more damage, but sweet. Ref goes, are you good? And I went, yep, I'm sweet, let's go, and then bang, fight's back on, and then I pushed the tempo, and then won the fight on decision. Yeah.
So I guess you did make a name for yourself after that as well, eh?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I remember watching it years ago, and years ago when that happened. I'm like, fucking hell, look at this guy.
But I was lucky that the ref actually stopped it and paused it. Didn't actually stop the fight.
So you ended up getting surgery after that then?
No, I had a few more fights. I was like, I don't know, maybe I can just, pump some weights on it, build it up and get it strong, nice and strong. And then, a few fights later, I fought a guy called Hector Lombard.
Oh, yeah.
Short little Cuban, Mexican dude.
He's in the UFC too, isn't he? Hector Lombard, yeah.
I've been a southpaw, my first southpaw, and I've taken on a few days' notice and went out there, and I was that person up here thinking that,
up in the clouds.
Up in the clouds, humbled. Yeah. Next minute, bang, 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 bang. Shoulder popped out, and he's on the side of my face, hitting me, and I'm going, oh, this is shit again. So
he's a beast, eh?
Yeah, man. He taught me a lesson, I was like, oh, yep, after the fight, I would better do something about this. So that's when my first reconstruction happened. Yeah.
What about your journey into the UFC? Did you know you were on their radar, or they just sort of hit you up one day? Let's go.
So there was talks about the UFC coming to Australia the following year. So inside that 12 months, I thought, okay, well, let's work hard. Let's get some fights happening. Let's win some fights, and let's make a name. So
if you were doing good, they sort of come to Australia and go, all right, these guys are looking all right. Let's give them a shot.
Well, that's just what we thought. Get some wins up, get a bit of a name for yourself, and hopefully they're able to hear us. So at the time I had 4 fights. I was in an 8-man tourney for a CFC world title, and I had all these guys from around the world and local talent too as well. And as I had each fight, I progressed to the semi-finals and then the finals, and I was finishing fights quite early because of my style at the time. I was just, as soon as the bell went, I was like bang.
What was your style?
Just come in for a fight.
Just throw them?
Yeah, it was no tactics in the day. It was just let's go.
Just stand and deliver.
Yeah. So it's not the right way about things, but
got the job done.
Yeah, got the job done and got me into the UFC, so that worked. But later on, I get to as I cop a few more knocks and got caught a few times, you get to learn. All right, okay, so boxing, combat sports, don't get hit first. Defense first before offense. I teach seminars every now and then over the last couple of years, and my weakness is my, strong point, and what I try to teach across to the rest of the people is your defense. To be a successful fighter, you got to be like a gladiator. Successful gladiator has his sword and he has his shield. Okay, I don't have no shield. I just had a big sword, and I was just throwing it around the place. I guess that's why a lot of people like to see me fight too. I wasn't tactical or anything. I was just like, go, yeah, yep.
So over your UFC career, did you slowly change that towards the back end of your career? Would you say you're a bit more, all right, work on my defense a bit more, or were you still guns blazing then?
Oh, no, not really. I guess my guns blazing because that's what worked for me before. And, copping so many knocks over the years and accumulating all these knocks together, it's not good. It all adds up, and I wasn't resting my head. So then I started losing, or started losing it in the gym sparring, or my sessions weren't going too well. Then next minute my feelings were coming to play, and then I'm becoming emotional. This is shit. Then I had to use music to try and get myself in the mood. Yeah, man, I just kind of went like this. Yeah. And
right to when you retired? It was,
right to when I was retired, eh?
So you didn't realise this until after what was going on and how to fix it?
Yeah, as you do, when you finish up on your career, you kind of look back and you go, get a little bit wiser in your age, and you look back and you go, okay, this, that, this is how it's done. That's what I forgot to do.
Was it that mentality, I guess, of you saying all guns blazing, like, this is how I'm supposed to do it, like there's no other way for me? Is that why you didn't try and work out a different way, or you just thought, fuck, this is what I'm supposed to do? I'm supposed to stand here, punch on, train hard.
Man, I guess that's what I saw too. Tyson, David too, man, that's all I saw was them attacking, like bang, 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 attacking, hard working, just, be strong, be courageous, and just weather the storm and then go. But then over time, it catches up with you. But it's hard to not use that because it got me there,
Yeah.
It got me there. Yeah.
You mentioned there, like, your head knocks and stuff. Do you feel any effect from that?
Nah.
Feel sweet still?
No, I'm sweet.
Yeah. Does it scare you?
At first it did when I got knocked out in my last fight. That's when I finished up. I had 2 knockout losses in my last couple of fights, I think. And last one I got knocked out and woke up and then got taken to hospital. While I was at the hospital getting scanned up, the doctors come back and they said, all right, you got a couple of marks on your brain. It's been may have appeared over the last couple of years. Who knows? Lesions. A lesions are like maybe similar to like a graze on your knee or something, So lesions may affect you or may not. But I guess what I got off the neurosurgeon was, your next steps is what's important. Your transition out from your career into something new is going to be very, very important. And I learned a lot from that. And then seeing it through the media to other athletes making that transition. Quite hard, eh? It's quite hard. Yes, there's so many stories out there. But transition is very, very, very important, I think. In my transition out from there, I was down in the dumps for like 1-2 months, and then my transition out of there was quite good. One of my friends kind of came over and he helped me get out of the hole and said, all right, this is what you got a lot to offer. A lot of people can learn from what you've been through your experience. You should teach. And then I started teaching, and then started looking back at my career and seeing what worked, what not. Started learning more about the sport, what works for other people. And then I put myself in a teaching position, it's teaching, man. This is so good, You're always looking for the next best thing, or looking to get yourself better and better and better and better, and then planting all these positive thoughts inside your head, and then improving yourself, improving someone else. I transitioned really well out of it, I think.
Were you ready to retire, or you just like, look, it's not worth, after hearing from the neurologist those lesions, did that just say, oh, look, it's not worth it now? Or were you ready to try and transition?
Well, I was kind of like second guessing
Oh, okay.
already. And then I got knocked out. And then the surgeon says that, your brain's in bad health. And I'm like, yeah, nah, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm done.
How old were you
I'm
when you
outta here.
stopped?
Hey?
How old were you?
I was 2016, so 5 years ago. Would have been 21. But yeah, now I see. Yeah, it's a good thing, man. Like teaching, And
But is that what helped you? The best thing was that the transition was to give back to someone else.
Yeah,
That's the easiest way for you to transition of, like a pro athlete, especially UFC. Like there's not many UFC fighters in Australia or back. Like there's a good crop of them now, but there's only a handful around like for a while, and it wasn't as big as it is now. So to be like the top dog, so to speak, in Australia, and all of a sudden, all right, well, what am I now? What have I got to do?
far, man. When I finished up and I got iced within like 1 minute, I think, and it was from another UFC fighter who was an ice hockey player, and he come into the UFC. And he just come out from a knockout loss. So he already got knocked out in the first minute on his previous fight. And I was like, this is an easy fight for me. And then went out
Who was it?
banging it. Man, I forgot. Steve Bose. Steve Bose, I think. He finished up too. But yeah, when I was like done with it. Oh man, I felt like that small,
Because you finished on a loss as well.
Yeah.
In the way you lost.
Yeah, in the way that I lost, it was like bummed out and just had all this pride that I brought up over the 20-something years of martial arts that I just had it crushed. Just felt that small again from the same feeling that I had before I first started. And then I guess like my friends would tell me, you got a lot to offer. You're this, you're that. I'm like, oh yeah, true. I got to try and pick myself up because right now I'm aware that I'm not in good shape at the moment.
That's good. That you could see the signs there,
Yeah. Being aware of where I'm at, and then I got to do something about it. Get myself strong. Get myself teaching. Yeah, sweet. And then just bang, 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 rolling. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like what you said there, teaching. Like you said, you got that much knowledge for you to pass on it, and it sort of helped you. Like I know you've done some roles with like footy clubs. You're helping kids out in certain organisations. So all that stuff sort of snowballed from there as well,
Yeah.
Getting back up on your feet.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot easier to just sort of, I guess, play, like a harsh word would be the victim card, like, poor me, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, well, that's a common thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Amongst
100%.
athletes, man, it's like two paths you can take. You can take that path where, shit, there's nothing ahead of me now. I don't feel those happy chemicals anymore because, before I was playing, fighting in front of a crowd or playing in front of a crowd, then there's nothing, so drink, drugs, whatever, and then just snowballs from there. But yeah, try and avoid that stuff, man, because that stuff's kind of short-lived.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, like, a big thing I always say is people that do UFC or, like, mixed martial arts, they got their mentality, like, to get into a cage and go, all right, boxing, kickboxing, grapple, jiu-jitsu, whatever all the disciplines are, like, that's a certain type of person to do that. Like, that's so hard to do, to be able to think and train and be able to take punishment and be able to dish it out. And it's a certain type of person or mentality. Like, it's like a rare breed of person. Like, how do you approach the mental side of it? Did you know that you're like built a little bit differently, like your mentality that way?
I guess so, like being obsessed about something,
So it was more just the obsession. You didn't really take that side of it in too much. Like, say leading up to a fight, like what was your mental approach to a fight?
Well, I don't even know. It was just like monkey see, monkey do sort of thing, The coach told me what to do, and I was like, yeah, do it. But then as I finished up, I analysed, the things that I was doing before my, glorious wins or before my bad losses. And I was just recognising all these little things. So I remember there's a talk about, and Danny Green, I'm trained with Danny Green. He helped me with one of my fights too as well. I was quite fortunate enough to have him help me out for a couple of months. But he was big in the mindset, man. He wasn't helping me about my boxing. He was helping me about in the hair, getting me ready. And he comes to me and he goes, I remember this. He tells me, he goes, all right, to get yourself set, man. Once you know what to do, you've got your game plan sussed, and when the time is right, there's a trigger. And what do you do for your game on? What triggers you? What triggers you to, all right, we're on. I'm like, what do you mean a trigger? I'm just like walking in the fight and just go. He goes, no, you got a trigger. I was like, oh, no. He goes, well, my trigger is bang, bang. He bangs his fists together. And you'll see that when just before the bell sounds, he bangs his fist and he walks out and boxes. And I'm like, far out. So he got me thinking. So I went back home and watched some old clips. And there was one thing that I picked up that I was doing every single fight. So my trigger was, before the bell will sound, I would like look at my opponent and like that. That's all it was.
Like shake your arms.
Shake him out. All right, let's go. That's my trigger. And then next minute, hair standing on the back of my neck. I'm on. Yeah.
So Mr. Nice Guy, just a little look down, shaking the arms. That's well, I've never really heard of that. So most fighters would probably have that, even if they don't know that they've got a trigger. Yeah. They do something all the time.
Yeah, there's something.
Like, was it John Jones gets down and crawls out?
Yeah,
would that be like a trigger for him? Something
maybe,
like that? Yeah.
Maybe.
In your UFC career, what was the highlight of that? Like, what did you take away most from that? Could be when you retired, throughout, or the start. What would you say was the highlight there?
Man, my highlight for myself was, looking back, knowing that I was this kid that really didn't have much talent. I wasn't talented. I was the last pick on the team in school. I was unco, and I was always, but I was like keen to have a go, keen to play rugby, keen to do something, but not great. Just from me being persistent in hard work and then being able to achieve these same things, just through hard work, I went from this to like a great fighter. Just through hard work and just being obsessed and where hard work takes you.
It's a thing like you said there, like where you've come from, like you looking at the end of your career where you could have been the victim or the victor, like pathway. Like you said, your mate came and talked to you. That's like from where you come, like a little kid from that town, being able to fight on the world stage is like a massive thing.
Yeah, man.
And it's sort of like there's a crop of you guys that sort of made UFC popular here as well. Like when you come through, like you, Mark Hunt, that's when everything started kicking off, eh?
Yeah.
Couple of fights in Australia, the UFC bring down here.
Yep. It was, it was an exciting time, but at the same time, I was just like tunnel vision on the UFC. And then there's, I think I was in there for like 6 years. And there's within that 6-year window, now that I get together with my mates and stuff, and they'll bring up old memories. Yeah, remember we went to this place and that place, we done this and done that. And I'm like, when did it happen? Yeah, you're getting ready for this fight, remember? I'm like, oh man, I was just like, yeah, that was it.
So your mates had a good time? You were in the zone?
Yeah, man, I can't remember. Maybe it was just copying too many knocks as well. I don't know. But again, like I was pretty focused on what I was doing, just constantly thinking about, all right, fight, win.
So what have you done now since you retired? We're talking off air. You're doing some stuff with kids and training. What are you doing at the moment?
I teach. So I teach. I got involved in teaching seminars, MMA seminars, and then I started teaching some wrestling classes. And then one of my mates who teaches a footy team, a local footy team, he asked, come through and take his guys through some some tackle technique or some wrestling, bit of wrestling session, get them working. I said, oh yeah. So then took them out there, and I was quite good at doing it, because once I put my mind to something, and if I like it and I value my teaching, I love to analyze stuff and break it down and try and improve it. So I'm like doing that stuff. I'm breaking things down, analysing it, and trying to work out ways to make the tackle more efficient or more of an impact. And then next minute, I got a call from Dean Young from the Dragons asking for an interview, and if I was interested in becoming a wrestle coach, contact coach for the Dragons. I was like, oh yeah, well yeah, I don't know. Oh, to be honest, man, I didn't play rugby league. I didn't watch rugby league. I played union in primary school. But yeah, I'll come down. I love what I teach, and I value what I teach. So I went down there, and we ended up being on the same page. It was what he was after. So I ended up being employed with the Dragons for 1 year. And then the team done quite well.
Not now, though.
Oh, yeah, that's not good, eh? Man.
They're struggling, the poor fellas. They're copping it, too.
Oh, yeah. But my role as the contact wrestle coach, they're really good doing good things, so I produced good results in that season. And then the following season came, and then they offered me a position as assistant coach for the reserve grade for the Canterbury Cup, assistant coach.
A coach?
And
not wrestling coach?
Yeah, assistant coach. And I'm like, oh, eh? And they go, listen, we want to sit you down and have a chat about, what we're going to offer to you. And I was like, oh, okay. And I'm nervous, and I'm thinking, all right, I'll let them have their say. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, thank you for offering me the position. I'll do the best I can. I value what I got to teach, and I break things down, man. Once I put work into something, that's it. I'm all in. But, man, I don't know footy. Like, are you sure you want to do this sort of thing? And they're like, yeah, we think you're the man, to give them a bit of that. And, anyway, the season started out, Canterbury Cup. We, at the end of the season, we won the minor prems, and then won the best defensive team in the comp, and then lost in the quarterfinals.
So you were a good investment.
Yeah. But it wasn't what I had to teach, man. I think it was just from, I guess, like, your vibe, You know about that vibe. Everyone has, like, their vibe. Yeah, your vibe is, like, uniquely you too. I could be, like, a great teacher, but then my vibe might be, shit house. And then go out to the boys and, all right, guys, we're doing this, that. And then,
so, like, the boys, like, I played footy as well, and, like, I always remember some of my best like Brett Kenny was one of my coaches when we were younger. So, like, he's just the best bloke. Like, technically, footy wise, he probably wasn't the best, but all the boys loved him, and all the boys would play for him. So, like, is that what you're trying to say? Like, you know what I mean? You got that vibe. That's what I think.
Yeah, man.
I think that would be your role. Like, all the boys would be like, fuck you. Jamie told me to do this. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
That type of vibe.
I mean, I didn't need him. I'm an assistant coach. I didn't need him to tell him nothing. Oh, we teach them nothing. They know what to do. It's just all about, get them to pull the trigger, eh?
Yeah.
Having that vibe, man. Everyone has their own unique vibe. What I learned from over the years is, sometimes we try and be the person that we're not. We try too hard, when we try too hard, people can see that when you're trying too hard and start seeing through and kind of get switched off. But then as soon as you start being you and, you're passionate about and you love what you're actually doing, then that attracts good things. Yeah.
So you didn't go back after that? No more coaching? That was it?
So what happened? No, they employed
you got pulled up. They might need you now for first grade.
Oh, man, I think I produced results, man. Like, But I guess, budget and everything and new positions come through and, I don't know. Yeah.
So what's next for you? Like, you still teaching? Do you have any aspirations to, train more fighters or go back to footy or start, like, I know you do some stuff for charity as well, the kids, or foundation, sorry?
Yeah.
What's next for...
So I'm a mentor for Family Spirit, FACS, and in and out of home care. So kids in and out of home care, young people. A lot of kids that are out of home care and traumatized or rough upbringings, and I can relate to that too. So I know what I can do to help encourage them to do good things and change their behaviour for the better. And then I know when to pull up too, where there's a certain point where you don't keep on pushing or them to breaking point, so I know to pull up and be more compassionate about things. I do that. I do a couple of things, and then I teach boxing, I teach martial arts, and I personal train people. The thing is, I love what I do. I love teaching. I love doing it. I know I'm good at it. I love doing it. I'm passionate about it. I did those online classes. There's online workouts that
Facebook
everyone's been
classes.
doing for the last 2 months through COVID. I was like, kind of, when I first started doing it, a live class, I'm like, oh no, here's another online live workout. And then, but I love doing it. I'm passionate about doing it. And what it started out to be like, a few views and a few people doing it. Now I done one this morning, and it was 20,000 people. 20,000 people watched the video. Man, it's just, and there's a lot
Is
more
that
people
more than
doing it now.
when you'd go out for a fight in the stadiums?
But it's, man, if you break it down, man, it's what you do. If you love something and you do that, and everyone sees that you love doing that, you kind of, people get attracted to you. Yeah,
Just like
attracted to your
translate
vibe.
that vibe you're talking about.
Yeah.
People pick up on that.
Yeah, but as soon as I start, if I'm doing my online class, if I'm trying to go elsewhere or do this or do that, trying to be someone else and trying to teach something else that I don't know, then, people see that and kind of get switched off. But I love what I do. I'm good at what I'm doing because of my experiences. Experience of ups, downs, experience what works and what doesn't. And I know the results you can get from doing certain things too. And then also that connection as well. We've been in isolation for the last 2 to 3 months, man. That connection, man. That's what we all miss, man. We all miss the gyms, man. So gyms are opening up pretty soon, and you guys will be, get a lot of people through, and everyone's going to be having those happy chemicals flowing through their body. Yeah.
Well, everyone talks about like technology, online this, online that, but at the end of the day, people miss face-to-face like interaction with other human beings, I reckon.
Yeah, 100%,
no matter how
man.
much, I think this is a bit of a wake-up call, no matter how much technology or advancements happen in the world, that human interaction, you can't beat it. It's just like a part of our DNA. There's some people that don't like it, like the introvert type, rather stick to themselves, but I think most people, like, they just, like, you crave that, getting back around people, being around, like, the boys, the girls, like a community feel. So can't wait for it to reopen June 13.
Yeah.
It's funny you say, like, going live on Facebook makes you nervous, but you used to walk out to the ring with, I don't know, how about 5, 10, 20, 30,000 people there, plus around the world, million people watching. But going on Facebook Live, at the start you said there was about 20 people watching when you first did it, and that made you nervous.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Why is that? Like, what's the difference?
There's a screen on you, and you're like, see, knowing that everyone's watching me, shit, better not mess up, better not stuff up, I'm too scared of making a mistake. But going out to a fight, you don't give a stuff about anyone else because it's only one person that's trying to beat you up. So you're like, I don't really care. I'll just.
So you're not scared of the guy across, but the screen in front of you.
Oh yeah, when I'm doing live videos, nice, not good.
Actually, that Men in Black. What was the idea behind that Men in Black walkout? I posted that photo of you.
Oh yeah.
What was the idea behind that? I wanted to ask you.
Man, we were preparing for a fight in London. So we went over there 2 weeks before to acclimatise. While we're over there, we're a team of 5 alpha males that are training together and living together. So we round each other 24/7. So we're having a good times, and then we're clashing as well. And then the clashing become a bit, every single day we started to clash as the fight was getting closer. I was like, rats. And then thought about doing something to bring the team together. At that time, my training wasn't going too well. My confidence was pretty low because the guy that I was fighting previously just broke the record for the fastest knockout in UFC history, which was like 5 or 6 seconds. Hasn't lost a fight ever before. He's on an 18-fight win streak. Hasn't lost 18 fight win streak. And I'm like, my preparation's not going too well. My team is falling to bits. Oh man, what can I do? I might as well go, make something up, try and get the team together, let's have a bit of fun. So brought up the Men in Black idea. How cool, what would it look like if we were to walk out to Men in Black? And then a team was like, oh yeah, it'll be pretty cool, man. Be pretty cool to do something like that. Next minute, we went all out. We bought the suits, we bought the Ray-Bans.
You looked
and the
suave,
next minute,
mate.
in the lounge of the place that we're staying at, we moved all the couches to the side. We stuck on YouTube on the iPad. We looked up the Men in Black tutorial. All right, this is us. Every night we're practicing, we're laughing, we're stuffing up, we're messing up. But then next minute, we done it, we clicked, And we were all like yahooing. And when the time came, we're backstage. I'm up next. All right, guys, get ready. You're 1 minute. You're going to walk behind the curtain. Get ready. Stand behind the curtain. And we dressed up in suits, Ray-Bans, and everyone backstage, the fighters, the coaches, the UFC staff are like walking past and like looking at us like, what are you guys up to? Are you sure you want to do this? I was like, man, we're standing behind the curtain. The curtain's about to get pulled. So anyway, James to Huna. All right, let's go, guys. Let's walk out. The curtain opens up, Ray-Bans on, right, this is our time, guys. Next minute, the camera's on us. There's a spotlight behind the camera, lights shining. I can't see shit. I'm just like, I've got these glasses on, trying to be cool. We pulled it off. Everyone started cheering. I'm walking, and I'm just following. I can't see nothing. I'm just following like a bright light in my face. And then, I didn't mess it up. It was lucky, man. Pulled the glasses off, took the suit off, went in there, had fun, got hit with a head kick in the first minute of the fight, got dropped. Actually got hit from head kick, dropped to the ground. When my head bounced on the canvas, that's what woke me up. And then the guy was trying to finish me off and I hung in there, and then second round came out, third round came out. Just, went at it and won the fight. But it was a close call for me, man. Could have got neuralized in there.
A couple questions there. So we sort of touched on that. You're worried about like the KOs. Any other injuries you had? We were talking just before we started. He couldn't get the headphones on with his cauliflower ears.
So I have a problem with particularly headphones. So your basic headphones, the plug-in headphones. I can't, like the airplane. When I get on the airplane, I can't plug in because of my blinking cauliflower ears. Yep, these problems here on the side of my head, they're puffed up from being training too hard, so full of cauliflower.
Well, it's just blood, It hardens up. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Gets calcifies or
what do you call it? Cartilage, turns to cartilage.
What would you get them fixed? Does it bother you? It doesn't bother.
You can cut it out, but I mean, I can still hear it.
Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah, so they do the job, eh?
Yeah, they do the job. So these can't really sit on my head. I have to get the over-ear headphones
Another one was, where do you see the growth of the UFC sport? Like, where do you see it going? And also, I guess there's a bit of dispute all the time with the pay to the fighters. And what's your thoughts on that stuff?
Fighters don't get paid enough. There should be a certain percentage that they get. But then, I guess, there's other promotions too. So there's UFC, there's ONE FC, there's Bellator, there's a couple of others that we in Australia and New Zealand don't really know about. The majority of us really just know the UFC. But ONE FC, there's a number of promotions out there that are paying much more money bare knuckle fighting.
I've seen that, yeah.
And a lot of fighters are leaving the UFC once their contract is done and going with other promotions because they're getting the money.
So they actually get more money there, even though it's not, I guess, on a world stage, like you said. We don't really know too. I've heard of Bellator and ONE FC, I think.
Yeah.
So they're better off going there to get better money, but the opponents are a bit better in the UFC. Would that be right?
Man, I don't know really. Look, there's good opponents everywhere. We only just see the UFC because we're in the
That's
UFC.
like the top dog of the market.
Yeah.
Like it's in every country and always on telly and like ESPN and like it's all over there now.
ONE FC has the largest amount of viewers in the world, more than the UFC.
Oh yeah.
So ONE FC is an Asian promotion in Asia.
Is Pride still around?
Nah.
That was brutal. That
was sick, man.
That's how Mark Hunt won, back in the day.
Yeah, I was training with Mark Hunt, and went over with him, and got to experience some of the pride fights, man. These pride fights, these pride shows, man, were like unreal. They were wicked. It was
There's not
like,
no rules either, eh? Was it like just one round until it stops?
yeah,
Is that
yeah.
what it was?
And then it changed to like 5-minute rounds. But man, those pride shows, man, there would have been like 80,000 people in a show. And it was quiet. When a fight was happening, two fighters were punching on with each other, and it was quiet. And all you hear is, ooh, oh, yeah. You look in the crowd, and it's like grandmothers, granddads, and young people, and just like the Japanese, or I was in Japan at the time, Pride, really, having that warrior culture, their culture, man, just the warrior spirit. They're just really appreciative of it and grateful for, but with these warriors going into battle,
There was no like weight class either, was there?
Nah,
it was
I think later on it came into weight class.
I remember watching I think was it Mark Carr, his name was. There was like, is it
Mark Kerr?
Kerr, that's it. That there was a documentary that come out about it.
Yeah.
He was fighting. He goes, "Oh, I seen this guy headbutted him. He's cut open, so I stuck my thumb in it and tried to rip it open even more."
Whoops.
Oh, well, look at this amateur, mate. Come on, tell your photo. Yeah, but I was just like, fuck, that's crazy. Like, just ripping this guy's, he's cut open with his thumb even more. Just like, it's like nuts, some of the fights. Soccer booting him in the head on the ground and stuff.
Out, man. Mark Kerr, he was a wrestler, and he was a beast.
He was
Smashing machine.
Yeah, that's what it was called.
Yeah,
and he's
the
there
documentary
injecting himself, and then he's injecting painkillers, and he was on like, wasn't too healthy, I would say. But
Man, you read about that though, and like in America, like athletes that are, with a pharmacy over there with things that are so easy to get, especially medication for painkillers. Man, it's I see a lot of people getting hooked on it.
Yeah,
and it's always something that I was aware in my head. Whenever I had my surgery, I had like 14 surgeries in my career while I was fighting. All of my limbs, everywhere.
Breaking everywhere.
But every time I end up in hospital, they give you these pain meds. I'm like, give me a shot, and then I try and kind of tough it out, because I'm meant to be this tough guy. Nah, don't need it. All along when they're gone and shut the door, I'm like, but I didn't want to rely on them. And then I guess my mental state of thinking about the next fight, I've got to get myself prepared. I was able to recover quickly from those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be. I know, like a lot of like footy players like struggle. I guess it's any athlete. Like they can struggle with those pain meds. It's because, all right, you're up so high, got to come down. All right, getting ready from an injury, coming back quicker. It's like, what can I take? What advantage can I get?
Yeah.
Numb the pain, painkiller.
Yeah.
It can be, and you don't even realise sometimes. Oh, fucking hell, I'm actually relying on this to get the job done or get through.
Yeah.
But I think in America now, you might know a bit more than this. They've got the CBD oil, the natural stuff. And I've seen a few fighters promote after a surgery, like taking the gummy bears rather than, like, what do they give you? It's like a morphine in a tablet over, or like opioids or whatever they call them, that just knock you out. And
there's definitely, now there's coming out about facts, like trials, and now, there's proven trials now that this does that for you, and it is
it's a lot healthier too, by the sounds of it. I'm
not
no doctor, but from what I've just heard about it.
I've played around with it, CBD oil. Just got to find the right one that works for you, I guess. I think a lot of things that help you out is placebo as well,
Yeah.
Take this tablet, this is going to fix up your knee pain.
Yeah.
3 weeks later, it's going to be brand new.
How long do you reckon that hits the Aussie market? Like, be pretty prevalent over here, like it is. We sort of follow what the states do.
Yeah.
You reckon that'll be here soon, next few years?
So, yeah, a few years.
Are you a supporter of that?
What's that? The CBD
like the CBD oils and.
Oh man, if it's something that works and is not much serious side effects from it, then I'm all for it. I know there's a lot of medication out there that will do this for you, but then
side
this
effects,
is going to happen.
Bad outweighs the good,
Yeah.
Next up and coming Aussie fighters, is there anyone that's caught your eye that you've seen or heard about?
Yeah, there's always like a couple of people that you always kind of, catch your eye and like, wow, right, he's a beast. Alex Simon, big heavyweight, the powerlifter. He broke the
He's a
the
fucking
big boy,
unit,
yeah.
man.
Alex
Did he
Simon.
lose one of his fights,
Yeah, he lost
by
his last
a big
fight.
Islander fella,
Yeah.
Got him.
Yeah, so Alex Simon, man, he was a beast. I've known him for years now, and I've helped him with some of his fight training and stuff, and talked to him every now and then. And we were mates. We were mates before, anything else. But watching him train with my brother and with Stevie and other people, and then watching his fights that he's successful in, he's like he drops his hammer like a punch. Big dude, explosive, quick, moves really well. His last fight he got iced. I've been iced. A lot of people have been iced. He got iced. But then again, leading into that fight, he knows what he done wrong. He'll make sure that never happens again. And it's a hard way to learn, but he will learn from his mistakes, and that won't happen again, I think. I think for me, watching on the outside when he's coming into that fight, especially before, when he's backstage and then walking into the fight and the bell's about to go, he'll know, his coach will know what he needs to do next time. I think he'll become more focused on what he needs to do, and he'll focus on the job more than anything else, the task that's in front of him.
Tai Tuivasa and Tyson Pedro, what do you think their comebacks? What do you reckon? How do you reckon they'll go?
Ty's comeback. Yeah, man.
Because he's had a couple losses now in a row, Ty?
Yeah. Well,
so the question was, how do you reckon their comeback will be?
Their comeback should be good, because he spent, I think, a month or two. He spent some time over at AKA training with Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier, really big UFC stars that know their shit,
He looked like he trimmed up when he was over there too.
Yeah. Spent time with them, and then now he's back in Australia, and he's spending time training with Mark Hunt right now. I think Mark's maybe preparing for another fight, so those two, he's around, fighters, and he's getting ready. As for his next fight, I don't know, he should do well. He put stuff in the bank, then, good chance he should be able to deliver for Tyson.
He's coming off 2 knee recos,
eh? Yeah, 2 or 3.
Oh, 3, yeah. He's had a couple ups,
2 or 3, I'm not too sure. He's had a couple or a few.
What do you see for his future? Do you reckon he'll go far in the sport?
Oh, he has talent for days, man. Talent. Yeah. He's got a pretty smart head on him too. He's very, very intelligent. He's one of the most intelligent athletes that I know of. He's just really, really smart. He has the whole package. He just had surgery a few weeks ago. He will rehab it, get it strong, and then do what he can to make sure he, comes back on the stage again and give it another shot.
All right, and then one more question. Advice to someone that's like sitting on their ass contemplating about doing something. So I always ask the guest this, what would you give advice to some kid or some person, could be an adult as well, to get up and just have a go and do something that they've been wanting to do?
To have a go.
Have a go.
That they've been wanting to do.
Yeah, what's stopping them? What advice would you give them?
Man, get some courage, no matter how, get some courage. I think for me, getting some courage, I had my older brother around me. So I waited till my older brother went to the boxing gym. It wasn't just me rocking up, opening the door. All right, guys, where do I sign? Get some courage. So my encouragement was my older brother, because I used to follow him, being the younger brother. And I was like, yep, I'm coming. Tee up with a mate. Yeah. They want to do the same thing or try something else. Hey, man, do you want to try this class out? Yeah, give it a go in probably another week or two. Yeah, all right, let's do it. Lock it in. Yeah, that's always a good icebreaker, and knowing that you got a bit of...
Got someone next to you.
Company, yeah. Going into a new environment, it's kind of a scary thing.
100%.
Yeah, the unknown. Yep, just that, man. Being connected with your mates, friends, and that's one way But I'm sure as I leave this podcast, it'll be like, oh, damn, that's what I should have said.
It's good, man. Like I learned something new, like your upbringing, and you can see why the person you are today is because of that. Like, you know, you showed some courage getting up and having a go, really. Like, all right, well, I'm going to do this, you know, to try and protect myself, better myself, you know, walk around with your chest up a bit more. So I reckon it's a good podcast, man. Heaps of people take stuff out of that, whether they're fighters or just a person listening to it. So
Yeah.
thanks for jumping on, brother.
Oh, thanks
Appreciate
for the
it.
invite, man. Thanks for having me on.
Next time I'll get some better earphones for you.
Bigger ones.
All right, thanks for listening, guys. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.